Okay, so today we're going to talk about finding slopes of lines and how that relates to our parallel and perpendicular lines. So a slope equation is the slope m is given by the change in y over the change in x. So you do y2 minus y1, that should be a y1, not y2, over x2 minus x1. So we want to find the slope of the following lines. A is from -2 to 4, b is from -8 to 6. So the slope of AB will be, let's do 6 minus 4 over -8 minus -2. It doesn't matter if you did it the other way around, if you did 4 minus 6 over -2 minus -8, as I'll show you in a second. So 6 minus 4 is 2. This becomes a plus. -8 plus 2 is -6, so we get a -1/3 for the slope. Had I done it the other way around, 4 minus 6 up top, -2 minus -8, I get -2 up top, positive 6 on the bottom, still -1/3. So it doesn't matter. As long as you do the same order both ways. If we make this one y2, this one has to be x2. If we make this one y2, this has to be x2. The order must stay the same. Y minus y, x minus x. So CD. So the slope of CD, it would be 10 minus 1 over 8 minus 5, which is 9 over 3, which is just 3. So the slope of this line is 3. Very straightforward. The key is just making sure you're subtracting properly. Now, you'll either have fractions, whole numbers, positive, negatives. Those are all different possibilities for slope. There are two special cases, though. So if I want to find the slope of EF, we do y minus y, so I'll do 3 minus 3 over -5 minus a -7. 3 minus 3 is 0. -5 plus 7 is 2. 0 divided by 2 is just 0. So this right here is the case of a horizontal line. If I were to plot this, it would look something like this. We just have a simple horizontal line. Slope is 0. So if you notice your y-coordinates are both the exact same number, your slope will just be 0. Slightly different concept, but same idea. The slope of GH, we'll subtract our y's, 9 minus -2. Subtract our x's, -6 minus a -6. This becomes plus, which is 11. This becomes plus, which is 0. Now 0 is in the denominator. We cannot divide by 0. It's considered undefined, so this is an undefined slope. This would be the case of a vertical line. So our points look something like this. And that would be the line that would go through both those points. So if you notice, your two x-coordinates are both the exact same number, your slope will be undefined. So for those situations, the y's are both the same or x's are both the same, you don't need to actually go through the entire process of finding the slope. You can just go ahead and go, y's are the same, slope is 0. X are the same, slopes are undefined. Now, parallel and perpendicular slopes. Two slopes are parallel if they have the exact same value, whereas two slopes are perpendicular if they're negative reciprocals of each other. Meaning also if they were to multiply together, you'd get -1 as an overall product. So again, parallel the same, perpendiculars, negative reciprocals. So we want to determine whether A, B, and CD are either parallel to each other, perpendicular to each other, or neither. So if we take a look at AB, so slope of AB, we would do 1 minus a -5 over 1 minus -1. Those become pluses. 6 up top, 2 on the bottom, slope is 3. Slope of CD. So our y's up top, we would do 2 minus 1, bottom 3 minus 6. We get 1 over -3, which is a -1/3. So they're definitely not parallel, because they're not the same. Now perpendicular, are they negative reciprocals? Well, if I think this is 3 over 1, if I flipped it, I get 1/3, and I change the sign to be negative. Yep, they are perpendicular to each other. because they're negative reciprocals. Also, if I do 3 times a negative 1/3, I get negative 1. That's another little check you can do to determine if you're not 100% sure whether they're perpendicular or not. So for this one, same concept. So let's find the slope of AB, and then the slope of CD. So why don't you go ahead and figure those two out on your own. Pause the video while you get those and practice finding your slopes. So slope for AB you should have found to be 13/25. Slope of CD should be positive 12. They're definitely not parallel, and they are not negative reciprocals of each other, so they are neither. Neither parallel nor perpendicular. Alright, same concept for this one. So we're going to work out again the entire problem on your own. Determine whether these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So find your slope of AB first, then compare it to your slope of CD. Alright, when you work it out, you should find that those two lines are going to be parallel. AB's slope should be a positive 1/3, and CD's slope is also a positive 1/3. Make sure you reduce both fractions as far as possible, so they both come out to be 1/3. Alright, so that's how you work with slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. We'll use that concept next time to talk about how to write equations of lines using parallel and perpendicular. So I will see you next time.